Guys, welcome into the AfterSchrock. We'll give everybody a few seconds to figure out this is here and join the podcast. But this is your opportunity to ask any questions that you might want to ask that wouldn't have fit in the show, or just didn't feel like calling in. Maybe you're a little shy, you didn't want to call in and go on the air. So this is your chance to ask those questions, and then I'll share with you stuff that I think might be important, maybe sometimes. Let's see. What do we normally talk about? The world of crypto. It's like crypto apocalypse. So here's a funny story. Over the last number of years, Schrock has mined. I've mined some Bitcoin and things like that. And so when we have to come up with money for the adoption, we had 24 hours to come up with it. I had to come up with some liquid cash, a lot of it, really quickly. So I sold all my crypto, right? And so when I sold my crypto, hey, Roger, how you doing? I sold all the crypto, and so that's going to make a serious taxable liability for me next year. But here's the thing. If the price of Bitcoin ends up going to $250,000 at some point, I'll be able to look at my son Luke and say, you, my son, you are $1 million baby. And if the price of Bitcoin goes down to $1, I'll be able to look at my son and say, Luke, you're a $4 baby. So yeah, it's basically sold all my crypto, so it's a sad day. The reason it's a sad day is in March. March is like the worst month to sell crypto. It goes down every March, and then it bounces back every April. So if it bounces back, I'm just going to be like, on one hand, I'll be like, oh. On the other hand, I have a beautiful little boy, and I can't think of a better way to take the fruits of the labor of all that hard mining work and spend it on something like that. So that's been fun here throughout the last few days. All right, so if you guys have questions for me, let me see. I'm going to see if I can find a way to add pictures to the feed. I don't know that I can. I can't. Let me see. I can write a comment, but I can only type. I can't actually throw a picture in. That's so not cool. So I'll have to post. I'll post a picture separately, or maybe the lovely Kimberly, if she's still watching, she can do that. But we'll post a picture separately to the Facebook feed, so you guys can see baby Lucas on there. He's just an amazing little boy, amazing boy. Hopefully my wife went back to sleep though. She had the baby. She knew I had to get up for the show this morning, so she took the baby all night long. And of course, he decided to wake up. And the brief moments that I was conscious overnight, there was grumbling about how much we let the baby sleep during the day. Like whenever the boys get to hold the baby, we cook the baby out and the baby goes to sleep. And then at night, the baby was awake and wants to talk, So yeah, I think I'm going to be up late tonight, I think. Just hold up a picture. That's a very low-tech solution, Keith, but I'll take you up on that one. Let me see here. I'm going to grab a picture. Of course, now my phone's going to start dinging because of all the notifications from the previous show coming through. So I we flew out to California to pick up Lucas. And so my wife and I flew out, and Nana and Papa came to take the kids and watch them while we were gone. And this is baby Lucas right here. So that's baby Lucas. He was 19 inches long and 6 pounds, 9 ounces. He was up to 7 pounds after the first week when we took him home. So that's him. He's a perfect little guy. But then I ended up having to come home because my daughter, I don't know if I can get that there we go. My daughter decided to get sick, and she didn't eat or drink for 2 days. And so we're like, oh no, she's not sick. So then Dad gets home, and Dad uses his special magic Lucky Charms daddy medicine. And then all of a sudden, we're eating hot dogs. And then we're watching TV shows again. I see that there. And then we're playing with toys on the stairs again. Yeah, we're making progress here. And finally, we get Happy Baby. Happy Baby. That's right. So full recovery there. So that was awesome. So then we brought, Lucas home. And my daughter, she's a little special needs, so we weren't sure how she was going to react. And so when we got Lucas home, it was kind of funny because at first she didn't know Lucas was real. She kind of walks up and pokes him, and he moves. It's like the kid who grabs the snake, not knowing the snake is real, and the snake turns around, and the kid's like, ah! So this is my 12-year-old son at the airport in Epley when we flew back in. He got to hold his little brother for the first time, so he was pretty thrilled about that. Let's see, here we go. So then Katie starts to get a little more brave. So you can see she's going to reach over and she's going to touch Lucas there while he's sleeping on the couch. So this is really not an effective way to show pictures, but then she decides that she wants Lucas's blankie. So she's figuring out how I can unswaddle the baby. I'm going to pull that blankie right off him there. She also thinks Lucas likes to be pushed in the swing, because all kids like to be pushed on the swing, right? So Lucas is in his little swing, and all of a sudden from the other room we hear, ready, set, and then my wife, like, it was like the bionic woman, she starts flying, no! She flies into the room, and Katie's like, go! And she pushes the swing. So it was kind of funny. We're like, no, you can't swing the baby. The baby it swings itself. Baby doesn't need to have like super swings, okay? So it was pretty funny stuff. But anyway, so that's been pretty much my world for the last week. And so we're trying to find normal again. I went into the shop a couple days last week when I got back. I was back in town, but I had the kids, and my wife had to stay in Los Angeles with the baby in the hotel. So we were going to go with either Lucas or Lorenzo, because we have a J in Jacob, we have a K in Katie. My logic was the next one needs to be an L, so we need an L. So Lucas, Lorenzo, whatever we're talking about. So we were trying to decide between Lucas and Lorenzo. We picked Lucas. We get to the Embassy Suites in Los Angeles, and the guy checking us in, his name tag is Lorenzo. And so we got to know Lorenzo in the week we stayed there pretty well, and so we kept giving him a hard time, saying, we were going to name our baby Lorenzo or Lucas, and we chose Lucas, and he's like, it's not too late. You can change it still. And so when my wife checked out the last day, he's like, it's not too late to change the baby name. So that was pretty good stuff. So it's been a pretty crazy week, but we're getting back to normal now. And I came back unexpected, which is always the best thing when you're a boss. When your employees think you're out of town, and you just show up, poof, in a hoodie with a 3-day beard, you're like, you just came off a desert island somewhere, and all of a sudden you're back. And one employee yanks his earbuds out of his ear. Oh, Thor's back. Yeah. And Secure Updater gets updated. I'm going to have a word about that. And part of that is, I'm sure, the challenge there is, there's an internal staffing change there, which we're going to miss Adam. Adam was with us. He's been with AfterSchrock for years and years and years. It was time for a change for him. It was just a personal time for something different. He actually is going to pick up stakes from what I'm hearing, and he's going to move all the way to Denver, just get up and move. Doesn't have a job or anything lined up. He's just going to go. So it's just time for something different for him, and so we're transitioning that over there. One of the things I'll throw out there during the AfterSchrock, because maybe somebody who would be a good fit for this, but we're looking for a salesperson at AfterSchrock. We don't usually do a lot with salespeople because there's no nice way to say this. Commission salespeople sell stuff that people don't need a lot of times, and it's not good service. So we don't commission our people. But in the world of websites and software development and things like that, you have to have somebody who goes out, whose job it is to go out and build relationships with other business owners, to be the people that are top of mind when they say, hey, I want to get a piece of software to do whatever, that, hey, AfterSchrock can do that. I know Bill over at AfterSchrock. Let me call him up real quick. So we're looking for that person. That's got to be a person who has a sales background. It's an inside and outside sales position. So we have some inside sales, and because we have existing customers and we have products that we can talk with them about. And then we have outside sales, where you're going to actually be going out to the business meetings and stuff and prospecting. Not a big fan of, you're not going to be cold calling or walking into businesses off the road, street or anything like that. But we need somebody who's got those skills, so that if they needed to do that in a specific situation under a specific circumstance, they could. So bottom line is, we're looking to hire a salesperson. I've had an ad up for some time, and we're not getting very many applications for the position. Whereas I put up an ad for a technician, we get tons of applications. So I don't know if maybe my sales ad is not well, but we're looking for somebody who has a sales background, who is also familiar with technology. You don't have to be a tech expert, but you do need to know what website hosting is, and what a website is, and what a secure socket layer is. And you can't be an insurance salesperson and say, hey, I want to sell websites, and then boom, just step into it. The training ramp up is just too much there. But if you know someone who's interested in that, please point them our way. Have them send us a message on Facebook. Otherwise, you can check out our ad on Indeed.com. You can just search for AfterSchrock and you'll find it on Indeed.com. But check that out, and we'd be very thankful for anybody you could send our way. All right. So last call for questions, guys. I haven't heard any questions yet, so I think everybody just tuned in for the baby pictures. But nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But if you do have any questions for us here on the program today, this is the time to ask them, and we'll get anything that you need to have answered, hopefully. I see the lovely Kimberly has rejoined the land of the awake. I don't know. It's interesting. When you join an AfterSchrock, does it start you at the beginning? Or does it start you at the real-time spot? I think it would start you at the real-time spot, but then people who tune in later start at the beginning. But if it tuned in at the real-time spot, I was explaining, lovely Kimberly, how I'm in trouble tonight because I let the baby sleep too long, and then the baby kept you up all night, and you let me sleep so that I could be here for all the listeners this morning. So, yeah. So thank you for that. We all appreciate that. I'm sure they appreciate that as well. But I won't be sleeping tonight. So if you want to see a really tired Thor, tomorrow morning, Omaha Morning Blend 9:35, I'll be a really tired Thor. What do you think, lovely Kimberly? Should we take the baby out? You want to go on TV tomorrow? I haven't sent my sheet into Kaylee yet, so we can do whatever we want. It's not really a Schrock segment, but, it's baby. All right, guys. Last call for questions. Last call. If you've got one, send it over to me, and we'll get you answered here. In the meantime, I'm going to send this off to Christine before I forget. The Sunday winner was Karen. It's kind of funny. A lot of people will give us fake names and phone numbers when we are doing the show, and then we go to call them when they win, and they're like, there's no one here by that name, or we don't know who that is, or the number's disconnected, and we're like, well, okay. I wonder if people win, and they're like, darn it, now I won, and no one's going to believe when I call in, and it said my name was Karen, but my name was actually Sally, and my phone number I gave was fake. Now I want to call and claim my certificate. All right. All right. No questions? All right. Well, then it's donut time. So I'm going to grab some donuts and head on home and do Easter. So thanks for joining us, folks. I hope you all have a happy Easter. I can't think of an Easter where we've had more stuff, more new beginnings. Let's put it that way. In the Schrock household, this is just amazing, and we're trying to sort it back out and get back to normal again. So forgive me while I do that. I felt ill prepared for my show today, but hopefully it sounded good. But anyway, thank you for the likes and for the shares. I really appreciate it. One other thing, while you're all watching here, it would mean the world to us. It would actually help us out quite a bit. We're going to do Omaha today. But if you could go to this website and then click on the Google review for Schrock Innovations and leave us a review. I would really appreciate it. If you can leave us a 5-star review, that would just be amazing. If you like the show, you like the information we deliver, if you're using Safe Upgrade and you like the maintenance checkup sales and stuff, this is a really easy way. It doesn't cost you anything. That helps us out immensely. It's like a force multiplier. We can do everything right with a website, but if you get positive Google reviews for your site, basically that elevates you in the search results, and then more people find your business. And when more people find Schrock, it allows us to have more customers, which allows us to do more products and cool things like Safe Upgrade. So if you could take a look at that for me, click that link, and then click the 5-star review, I'd really appreciate it. All right. Thanks, Strider. I appreciate it. All right, let's see. Put some robin eggs in the robin's nest and wished happy Easter. Thanks, Keith. I appreciate it. Amazed you did the show? Come on, Alice. I got to do the show. Kids got to eat, right? All right. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. We appreciate it. We'll see you again next Sunday for another edition of Compute This.